Well, good evening, real woman. Good evening, real world. Thank you for joining me on the International Women's Day Everyday series. I tell you, being a woman is something else. I don't know if tonight's episode is me being a woman or just I really just believe that there's some great stuff that's going to come from these ladies on tonight. And we every night I have literally ran in some kind of technical difficulty, and I've been trying to be so studious and so good in my efforts. I was told to fix my earbuds. I was told to write my notes. And every night I've been better than the night before. I even look better tonight than I did 2 nights before. But that's because I knew I was going to be with the Sparkle Girls tonight. And I wanted to make sure I had on my bling. I'm excited, and I am not concerned that we had a little difficulty, because the great news is we get to post this in the Facebook Live, and the ladies will still get to take advantage of everything that we're going to discuss on tonight. I'm excited because on Monday night, we had Kimberly D. Hart, the winning strategist, who told us that we had permission to win. And we talked about the biases against ourselves, the inner turmoil, those inner things that keep us from moving forward. And then we also had Ilka Chavez, the transformational life coach. And she asked the question, who told you you wasn't a leader? Who told you you didn't have a right to lead? I love the way that God gave me this succession of each night, because I feel like it's kind of taken us on a little ride, a little momentum from one place to the other. Because in the very beginning, you have to know, first of all, those things that you're dealing with on the inside and those things that are holding you back. You have to be able to identify those things before you can even do anything with them. And so then on Tuesday night, we had Yolanda Gray, who told us that we had to take back our life. You can identify those things, you can see those issues, you can know what they are, but what are you going to do with them? She said, take your life back. And Belinda Johnson, the Be Fit coach, said, and do it now. So they had us really excited on last night, and they gave us a call to action. And both of them told us the call to action was to write it down, write the vision, make it plain. Often we talk about journaling and all of those different things, and how I always believe that when you write things down, seeing it, it's almost like marketing. If you know anything about marketing, there's a reason why they have the billboards and then the radio, and sometimes simultaneously you can be in a specific place and you will hear it and see it at the same time. And God knows, if you can hear it, see it, and taste it, you're sold, right? And so there's a reason why you're told to write things down. Well, I'm excited because on tonight specifically, still, I'm old school. There's a song out, used to be called Sparkle Girl in Your Eyes. Sparkle Girl in Your Eyes. I don't know if y'all know this song. It's an old song. And when I was thinking about the ladies, I was thinking about how oftentimes we want to sparkle, we desire to sparkle, but we don't know how. And, someone's always, how they say, somebody's always trying to dim your light. And so in the topic on tonight, I was thinking about that whole, girl, there is a sparkle in your eye, whether you know it or not. The thing is, you've got to find it. And so the overall topic tonight is, she leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes. And I'm excited about that. And so I wanted to invite Yvonne George. Yvonne George is known as the Sparkle Guru, and I love her so much. Wave your hand, Yvonne, so they'll know.
Hello.
Yes. Yvonne is a realtor. She's the Sparkle Guru, helping others shine with purpose and passion through the power of sparkle. She's the president and CEO of her own lifestyle brand called Live Your Sparkle, which was created for women to transform their lives from ordinary to extraordinary. And this endeavor is a strategic approach to empower, inspire, and motivate women through the power of sparkle. She's the co-author of Behind Her Brand and author of In Her Shoes, Unleash the Sparkle of Survival. And that's pretty cool too, because last night, I think it was last night, we said sometimes you just get to start, you have to get first to that place where you decide, I want to survive. So that's pretty cool right there. And Yvonne's topic tonight is everyone has sparkle. Okay, so Yvonne, you don't have to tell them about yourself per se, because I just read your bio, but why don't you give them a taste, a little something before we introduce Pam and Nira?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. I love talking about sparkle. It just brings so much joy and excitement to me because, quite frankly, I don't care who you are or what you do, you have sparkle because those gifts come from God. He has given each one of us a special gift, and those are our areas that we can sparkle. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, what in the world am I here for? And quite frankly, you're here to make somebody else's life better. You're to be the light. So if you're out there and you're thinking that you can't make a difference, you most certainly can make a difference exactly where you are. And so for me, I just love inspiring people to let them know, quite frankly, you know what? You are the light. You can sparkle. Yes, I like to wear it all the time as well, but it comes from within. The sparkle comes from within. And when you look up in the dictionary what sparkle means, it literally means to be light and to be vivacious. And I think each one of us have the power to change somebody else's life because you may be the only light that person has seen that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I was trying to decide what to put on Pam because I know, Pam, she always looks so sharp and so pretty. And Nira, she likes them. I specifically put you three ladies together because each one of you in my book, you're such fashion icons, but you just have that thing, that sparkle thing. And I put on can you see it blinging there, ladies? Can you see it? Yes, I'm so excited. So let me tell you about Nira. Nira has worked relentlessly in the legal field for more than a decade while earning her paralegal degree from the University of Maryland. And as a result of her knowledge in her field and her ability to lead, she was recently promoted to the director of operations for a law firm in Baltimore, Maryland, the firm of Brown, Goldstein, and Levy. In addition to her hard work, experience, and knowledge, Nira credits her success to her ability to take control of her life and never accept a no for an answer. Nira is a humanitarian who's focused on developing others and making genuine connections. In pursuit to satisfy one of her passions, Nira is currently formulating a nonprofit that will work to reduce infant maltreatment by providing educational resources to parents and communities. And she says she's meeting people where they are to get them to where they want to be. Nira is a mother of three who loves to spend quality time with family and friends, and says while her plate may seem full to others, she's never too busy for me time and enjoys exercising and riding her Peloton bike. And now Nira's topic tonight is the journey from within, realizing your sparkle when no one else will. Nira, what can you say to open up the conversation on this evening?
Yes, I just want to say I'm very excited to be here as well. I'm glad that you knew who to pair me with, Yvonne and Pamela. I'm glad we're all sparkling tonight, and Susan, you showed up too. So just thank you for having me. I want to say I found, I was actually struggling with this, and I said, I always know my sparkle. I never have to find my sparkle. And then this morning I woke up and I actually didn't feel that great. And I knew I was working from home today. And I said, what can I do to add a little sparkle to my day? And I put this headband on for me. And I realized that it's not that I always know my sparkle. I know how to find, I don't always have a sparkle, but I always know how to find my sparkle. So it's knowing that, being real with yourself and understanding that I'm not in the best mood. I'm not my biggest supporter today. What can I do to feel better? Even coming on this call tonight, I sprayed some perfume and I said, people would say, why are you spraying perfume? You're not leaving the house. But it was for me. I knew I liked the scent. I knew that would make me show up better tonight. So I want to say, kind of seconding what Yvonne said, and that everyone has the ability to showcase their sparkle. It's knowing that you have the confidence to do so. And I'll tell you, I enjoy my Peloton because I was riding that this morning. And the first thing the instructor said was inhale confidence and exhale doubt. And I said, that's what you have to do. And so thank you for having me. I look forward to continuing tonight.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. And then there is Pamela Williams. I'm telling you, I met Pam. We co-authored a book together called Permission to Win. And what I remember so clearly about that time, we had to do a photo shoot and all the ladies had to wear, white, and we all had to wear one day we were in black and white, then we were all in white, and we had to, do a little certain thing. And when Pam came through that room, I remember saying, girl, who are you? Because she looks so good. I said, I don't know you, but you must be somebody. That's how great she looked. And so when I was thinking about you guys on tonight, Nira, she always looks great, and Yvonne always looks great. And it's not just how you look, it's that aura, it's that way you guys come across that I'm so attracted to, that I think is so beautiful. It's so attractive, and it makes someone want to just say, who are you? What are you doing? And so that's what I enjoy about you three ladies, and that's, I'm excited about that. So let's tell you about Pamela. Pamela Williams, fearfully and wonderfully made, and it's what you do that matters. That's what she says. And Pam is the founder and CEO of CorpX International LLC, where they are helping your business grow. Pamela is an expert training and business coaching professional that possesses over 25 years of HR management, project management, leadership development, and strategic planning. She garners an MS degree in human resource management, has written and administered numerous training programs, and has delivered training workshops from executive to entry-level staff. Pamela is a published collaborative author of 2 books, The My Now Student Leader, published in December of 2014, and Permission to Win, published in 2016. And Pam's topic tonight is identifying the attributes that will make you sparkle in the workplace.
Hi,
Yes.
Susan. Hello, everyone. Susan, thank you so much for including me tonight. And I tell you, if you guys had seen me yesterday, you would have thought, what in the world? Because I wore mismatched shoes.
What?
Yesterday. Yeah, I didn't know it because I grabbed them from the car. So, it's sparkling on, shining on, right? We just have to keep it going. And I didn't notice until I was walking and I said, one is more cushiony than the other. Then I happened to look down. I said, oh, well, I had to keep going. But welcome, everyone. I am extremely excited to join the conversation tonight and be amongst the panelists here of peers that have equal sparkle and shine. Mine, even though focusing on the workplace, I still think, you dream big. And so I'm going to talk about sparkling from that leader perspective, from sparkling from within. I can, recall days, and Susan, you talk about the external, and I guess it was just ingrained in me because growing up as a little girl or going to school, before I left the house, my mom would say, come let me see you. So, I had to make sure before I left the house, I was looking a certain way. So that just carried forward, for my rest of my life, of course, definitely into the workplace. But yeah, I'm going to share with the women tonight how, my tagline, it is what you do that matters, that follows you. And a lot of that has to do with how you sparkle and shine.
Okay, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let Yvonne start. And what I'm suggesting how we kind of go tonight is when you're finished, Yvonne, Nira, you can go behind her. Terry will let us know if we have any comments in the chat. And then Yvonne Pam after Nira, you'll go. If you want to, let's just have a conversation. I know we're on Zoom, but let's feel like we're sitting in our living rooms talking. We don't necessarily wait until you finish your whole dissertation before you say, but hey, wait a minute, let me ask you a question. So if a question comes up, or if you want to ask a question in a moment, let's do that. and let's really just talk about this sparkle thing. And I think this is huge because as quiet as it's kept, there are a lot of ladies that are struggling with their sparkle. So Yvonne, you can take it from there.
Thank you. I would have to say a lot of people are struggling with their sparkle because they have been through a lot. They've been beat down. They've lived through a lot of things that have just pretty much depleted who they really feel like that they are. They don't even know who they are anymore, depending on probably what they've been through. I know in my experience, when I've been talking to people, most of the time, those are the people that just really have just been beaten down. They don't have any self-confidence. No one has ever told them they've done anything good. Quite frankly, a lot of times, they're told that they, can't do anything right, and you're not any good, or you're stupid, or, you're fat, or whatever it may be, all that craziness that is going on. And, the world is tough. People are mean. They are so mean sometimes, and they don't think about what they say and how that makes other people feel. And I'm just amazed all the time about how rude people can be because they don't listen to what they're saying to somebody else. We're all supposed to be building each other up, not tearing each other down. And so whenever I see people struggling with all of that, I get to the root of the problem and just say, why do you feel that way? And I mean, they come right out and say, well, I had this happen to me. And so we sit down and we talk about it. And we talk about how can you find that sparkle again? And most of the time, a lot of people are like, I just don't think I can do it. And they're just down. And I'm like, no, you can do it. First of all, let's sit up straight. Let's smile. I mean, and I just literally try to do everything that I can to just change the demeanor and everything about just their physical, appearance of, okay, let's, change everything of how you're sitting up, how you're presenting yourself, because you are a beautiful person. You were created by God, and He thinks that you are perfect just the way you are, and you have to believe that.
So I guess the question would be, and then Nira, you can respond. I guess the question would be, why do you think when you're talking with these women, and someone else can answer, I guess also, but why do you think that it is so difficult to, I mean, obviously, there's the doubt, there's the fear, there's, everything that's happening in the home that people don't know that's happening, and all of those things. But why do you think that it's so difficult for even those women who know that they have that special thing sometimes to actually pull that sparkle off? Or either, like Nira was saying, you wake up some mornings and you just don't feel great. And what do you think it is? Anybody?
So I think it's, again, I'm going to fall back on confidence, but also knowing who you are. I've been following every night, and I did want to say this because I kind of smiled when Yvonne said, sometimes you look in the mirror and say, I am fat. And I thought about last night, there was a panelist who said, you should tell yourself, you know what, I am fat. I'm faithful and true to making a change. And so kind of confronting those hardships and those things that are pulling you down and being honest with yourself. And then, and this is interesting because the other panelist said she was so tired of hearing pivot because that was all you heard all 2021. We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot. Mm-hmm. But it's actually knowing how to pivot, how to know how to change and do something else when you thought the path you were going on changes, or what that looks like changes, or you went to bed expecting to wake up feeling great and you wake up feeling crappy, kind of accepting that and then asking yourself the hard question of, what am I going to do about this now? Am I going to succumb to these feelings, or do I want to have a brighter day? Am I going to fix my posture and smile? So it's kind of having the wherewithal to know how you're feeling and then decide to make a change about it so you can have a better positive outlook.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was thinking about me even putting on like this sparkle, because I knew I was talking to you sparkly ladies on this evening. So I put on my sparkle. But in that, I was thinking while Nira was talking even that sometimes we want to put on the sparkly jacket, you know? And that's what I love so much about Yvonne when I see her on Facebook and different things. But the surroundings don't dictate that, you know, nobody else is wearing sparkle. You know, everybody else is wearing just a regular business suit, and you're like, but I just feel like putting on sparkle. And so it's something as simple as that, as maybe deciding to put on sparkle, whether anybody else is putting on sparkle or not, like moving beyond, really getting past how you manage yourself based on other people's feelings and their interpretation of what should and shouldn't be. I think that's, you know, and the I guess the thing we want to have to ultimately probably share with the ladies on this evening is how to do that, because it's one thing to talk about, it's another thing to really know how to do that. Pam, did you want to comment?
I was just going to add, you know, we judge ourselves so much all the time as women, because we wear so many hats and we do so many things. But, you know, I wake up every day and with an affirmation, a daily affirmation or something positive. And, you know, mine is just shining bright like a diamond every single day. You know, no matter what, you shine, you wake up, you shine bright like a diamond. So I just kind of repeat that, and you really will change your mood. It will just change, you know, your thoughts going into the day. But we put so much on ourselves, and we really, as women, need to you know, figure out how we can just breathe, you know, to keep our shine, to keep our sparkle, you know, because we do a lot. We do a lot.
I just thought about, I actually thought about the a scripture that's old school, but it's not old school. It's just we don't really hear it anymore like we used to. But we are the light of the world. How about that? I mean, something so simple. We are the light of the world, and actually, you could just take that into. I love, you know, you could just take that into your everyday life. Just really think about that. And so, let's talk about on the job, because Pam, that's, you know, as an HR person, and when we're talking about on the job, and how is a person able to stand out in a way that someone in management will look and say, yeah, they're sparkling.
They are sparkling. So well, we're going to use that word pivot again. So how let's talk about how we having worked from home, most of us, for the past 2 years, how we maintain that sparkle and still be able to shine bright like a diamond, and so that our managers can see what we're doing. I think one of the main things that I want to say is that because we've been away from the workplace, we've had to pivot and do things differently. And so many of us have probably walked into steps where we are taking better control of our health because we are at home and we're eating differently. But in the workplace itself, it's all about performance. It's about, you know, let's assume we are in a setting where we're all together physically. It is about performance. It is about how you show up. It is about how you comport yourself. You know, do you walk in every day feeling beat down with a frown on your face? Do you walk into the workplace or with a smile? You know, it's how you greet people. It's how you speak to people. And what leaders take note of are a lot of those things. They're wanting to know, number one, are you a team player? You know, what's your attitude? You know, are you one that's willing to kind of step up and get things done? And, you know, are you positive? You know, if you're walking around and you're complaining all the time, nothing is ever right, you carry that aura with you. And honestly, no one will probably want to work with you. So winning or being that sparkle in the workplace, it really reflects from an internal and an external perspective. It's about how you carry yourself, how you comport yourself, how you speak, how you talk, you know, remaining positive, having a sense of gratitude, being a team player. But again, if you're in an environment where they are looking for progression, or they have some sort of plan where you're able to be promoted, you know, they're looking for leadership qualities, period, in you. They're looking, you know, are you the team player? Are you dedicated? Can you get things done on time? So your sparkle includes all of that. It really does. It includes all of those attributes, all of those components. And, you know, the main thing for me, for anyone, I will say to it in the workplace, you know, take care of yourself. Your health is important. Not just your physical state, but your mental state as well. So that means there are things you may have to do that will allow you to create a better mental space about what you do. I used to say to my team all the time, you know, we're here 9 to 5, and then when you leave, don't take it with you. One of the things I used to say is chew it up and spit it out. Excuse me, but that's what I said. You know, don't take it, you know, don't take it home with you. It's still allowing your sparkle to shine when you leave home, because then you step into a whole nother world in terms of work, particularly if you have a spouse and you have children, because that light still needs to continue to shine for those that need your support at home and depend on you outside of the workplace.
That's awesome, because we're talking about the sparkle within versus that outer sparkle. That's pretty cool. And so I know we have a comment in the chat, and I wanted to get to that, but I did wonder while you were talking, I was thinking there was a quote I read earlier this week, I think it was, or it might have been last week, and it said that the Delta of CEO, he says, they hire for attitude and then they teach altitude. And I thought that was, I think that's pretty awesome. Terry, we have a comment in the chat.
Yes, the comment is from Cassandra Dickerson. It says, I think too, we have to relanguage our messaging as a community of women, particularly African-American women.
Okay. Did she want to say why, or did you guys want to comment? Well, I'd like to know why she thinks that.
I think that was referencing the conversation that was happening just before this particular one.
Well, no, definitely. But I was saying, I was curious. I would like for her to, if she's willing to elaborate on, or maybe someone else can, why it's particularly for African-American women. I think that's, there she is. Well, would you like to, thank you for joining the conversation. Did you want to expound on that just a little bit?
Yeah, my sparkle ladies. So it was, thank you, Terry. It was something that was said before, you know, in reference to, I don't know if it was like what someone says or how we think about ourselves. And so I've been having this conversation with myself for some years, because I'm raising a now 10-year-old. And I've just been thinking over the years, the comments that people have said to me about her body, like the shape of her body and what I should expect. But it was, to me, it seemed to be all negative. And in particular from women, you know, like, oh my God, you know, like if she has a certain shape, you know, of her, I'll use the word backside. Oh my God, what are you going to do? You know, because she has this particular shape, you know, of her body, or, you know, just different comments like that. And as I started to ponder them, I was thinking, like, what are we saying about the messaging, you know, of how we think? And it is all about what I tell her about her body, of, you know, how she's going to be thinking about herself and carrying herself later on in life. So I really started to think, like, the onus is on us. The responsibility is on us. But it really, to me, broadened the, you know, the perspective of what is our community saying, like things we just say, you know, over the years, and then it just perpetuates, you know. Why can't it be what Maya Angelou says about the fullness of my lips and the shape of my hip? You know, like, why does it have to be negative and not, you know, something like, oh, you know, cover this up, or like, you know, like it's so she's not straight up and down like other cultures, right? That's not what we look like. So it's really about our message,
Nice.
especially to a younger girl.
Unfortunately, body shaming is so prevalent, particularly among certain, young women. And I wouldn't say just generally African-American women, just body shaming. And unfortunately, social media, or what society thinks how we should look and how others view us plays a part in that. I don't have daughters, but if I did, I would tell her exactly probably what you say, Cassandra, is, you know, you're beautiful. I think it was Yvonne that said it, you're perfect the way God had made you. This is who you are. And my plight, I will say, growing up, because I'm an African-American woman, of course, of a darker skin persuasion, you know, I used to get those comments, well, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. I was like, I don't understand that. What does that mean? Why can't I just be pretty? You know, so you're right. It is about the messaging and, you know, how it's language and, you know, what folks are saying, but it is more societal. And I just hope and pray days that starts to, we move away from that and it just be more positive. I do think that if it is said, you know, I will quickly correct someone. And if I overhear it, I will say something as well. No, she's beautiful just the way she are. Her hair, you know, it's beautiful just the way it is. You know, that's the, we recently have here, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, for those listening, passed the Crown Act regarding how women of color wear their hair from a natural state here in Kentucky. And so, you know, it is that messaging, and we just have to remember to keep pushing it and to stay positive, reminding them that they are beautiful just the way they are pretty little girls. And hopefully that, you know, it will just, you know, they'll take it and it passes on, you know, from your generation to them and so on and so forth.
Yvonne keeps shaking her head. I feel like she just definitely has something she wants to say. I think it's interesting, isn't it interesting that we're in a time where they have to actually pass a Crown Act? That in itself is sad. But Yvonne, I see you shaking your head. Looks like you have definitely something you want to say.
Oh, no, I'm just agreeing 100% with everything that Pamela just said. I mean, it's just right on. I mean, I completely agree with what she just said. So I was just shaking my head because I was just in agreement with that.
So I
and
did want,
in your bio, I'm sorry, Nara, you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
yeah, I did want to focus quickly on something that I think came out of what Cassandra was saying as it relates to finding your sparkle. A lot of times we put the onus on ourselves or the individual to find their sparkle, but a part of finding your sparkle is eliminating the naysayers and blocking out the negative. Sorry, that's my 3-year-old, but blocking out the negative comments and questions and things that come. So when you say, you know, how do you find your sparkle within, that's, you know, for the person trying to find their sparkle, realizing that people are not going to always say the things that you know, are not going to always be positive and supportive of you or to uplift you. And I also think that as women, we should be conscious of that. Sometimes we're quick to say that, you know, we support women, but then we find ourselves making some of those judgments or looking at other women. So also being more mindful of the things that you do when you are speaking and interacting with other women. And then again, for the woman herself, knowing how to block out those negative comments and naysayers.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
I think I want to say one thing. I think it's just huge for everyone to find their tribe, because if you are not surrounded by people who are not building you up, it is very hard to always stay up. You've got to have people around you that are encouraging you and telling you that, you know, you're doing a great job and they're proud of you. Not enough people have that circle to where they can get that, because they may not be getting that at home. And it helps to have a group of women around you that believe in you and are speaking those words of life into you. It's a huge thing. And I was listening to a sermon the other day by Rick Warren, and they were talking about just the church and how important it is to be able, why the church is so important. I mean, it's going to be here forever. We're going to live in eternity with each other, and our families will die. But who we have in our church who has been there during those times when we were struggling and a death in the family or something has happened or somebody gets sick, it's those people that come around you, your friends, who are comforting you and loving you and helping you through those difficult times. Everybody has to have that. We were made to have connection.
I love that you're saying that you were made to have a connection. I was literally just talking about that earlier today, and I was saying that one of the things that opened up so vividly to me on last week is that often when we're talking about having a connection and being connected to the right people, and as women, you know, like I'm doing the talk show and you're a realtor and you're this and you're that. And so when we're, sometimes when we're building our tribe, we're looking not necessarily for women that are doing what we're doing, because we're thinking, well, if she's doing that, I'd rather connect with someone who's doing something different. But what I realized on this week, which really got me really excited, and I hope I'm not going too far away from the topic, but what really got me excited is that on the hand, there's 5 fingers, right? In order for the blow to flow properly on the hand, it has to flow from finger to finger to finger, right? So it can't flow from the finger to the foot. So you're going to connect to women that are like you, that look like you, that are doing similar things to you, because that you're doing, because that's how the body is connected to attach to the next part, and that's how the blood flows. And I think when we're talking about bringing that into that sparkle, I think that we have to realize that our only competition is ourselves. And really the best way to sparkle is to tell somebody else that they are sparkling. I found that when I'm pushing other women and when I'm encouraging other women and I'm lifting up other women, I'm sparkling all day long, because we know that whatever you give out comes back to you, right? I'm listening. I see another comment. I wanted to just ask you though, Yvonne, before we get that comment, you talk about unleash the sparkle of survival. I don't know whether to go to comment or you first, because I really want to know what that means to you, but I guess we should better get the comment because it's right in line with what we're talking about right now. And then
Okay.
So it actually is a comment from me, because I was trying
Okay.
to raise my hand,
Oh.
but it didn't get recognized. I just was saying how you sparkle is dependent upon how the light reflects off of you. That's why it's important to know when to shift, when to turn, when to pivot, and to allow yourself to be reshaped to make the most of the light that's already shining on you. And I was looking at Nira's headband, and sometimes you see the light, sometimes you don't. It depends on how she turns. And, you know, when we're in a place where we don't feel sparkle or where we're not reflecting sparkle, it's necessary. Dion's laughing. It's necessary to, I'm sorry, I got distracted because of a conversation I had earlier with my niece. But it's necessary to make that turn or make that shift, just so we can the light is always shining, and other people see it depending on where they are, depending on what their positioning is to us, what their you know, how they see us. We may not see the sparkle because of where we're positioned, but they see it because they're positioned differently. So it's, you know, sometimes we're sparkling and we don't even know we're sparkling. So that's, you know, I just wanted to mention that, you know, just if you don't feel it, turn, shift, as you know, the whole pivot thing, how to pivot. But even if you don't feel it, it doesn't mean you're not sparkling.
I love that. I love
good.
that. I love the
awesome.
analogy of the sparkling, the headband, and she turns her head and it's sparkling, but she doesn't see it. That's phenomenal. Yvonne, you go.
Well, in the book where I had Unleashed the Sparkle from Within, or not, of survival, so many women shared their stories basically about things that they had gone through, whether it was divorce, drug addiction, cancer. We had different people share and open up their stories and talk about what they went through and how they had to dig within in order to come through and find that sparkle again. Because when you're going through chemotherapy, when you are strung out on drugs, or your husband has left you, or you're getting beat, it's very difficult to feel like you're sparkling at that point, right? And so it's a process. It doesn't mean that you come through it and you're like, oh, I'm fine. I sparkle all the time. No, no. And even I don't get up every day and sparkle every single day. And I've been through a lot at myself in my life, but I am determined that it's not going to get me down. And my attitude and how I look at life, it's what changes everything about me, because I'm determined that I'm not going to let that bring me down, because I am only responsible for myself, and I have to be able to, lift myself up when I'm down. And so you just how Nira was talking about the headband. She wasn't feeling like she was sparkling this morning, but she's, doing everything for herself. And that's what you have to do, whether it's turning on music. And it's crazy when you are shifting towards looking for something like that, how I can't even tell you, sometimes I'll be driving in the car and there'll be a song comes on and it will literally say, you sparkle and shine. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I mean, you really have to go through all of that and try to figure out at this point where you how you can get through it. And other people are looking at that and they're trying to see the people that were sharing and opening up their stories in the book talked about what they had to go through, and then it is an example to somebody else who may be going through the same thing, and they're thinking, wow, well, if she got through that drug addiction, if she got through that abusive relationship, how did she do it? What did she do? And I resonate with her. So that's what we have to do as women, as we look for people around us that are very similar, like what you said, and we look at what they've been through in their life and how they did it. But I will tell you, they didn't do it alone. Again, we go back to why you have to have that connection with others, because they're the ones that are going to help you get through what you're going through.
Yeah, I love the conversation because I think that oftentimes, I said this on last night, but it's so vital. It looks like we have another comment, which is, well, let's get that comment real quick because I thought that's pretty awesome. Terry?
Yeah, the winning strategist said, just like the sun, it's always up somewhere.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. I mean, if you that's like something you can even put on your mirror in the bathroom. Just like the sun, it's always up somewhere. I love that. And I love the
That's beautiful.
conversation. We have 5 minutes, but we're going to go a little bit longer if you ladies don't mind, because we started so late. I did put the Zoom on for 2 hours. We won't go much longer, maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. But I love this because a lot of times when we're talking with women and, for a lot of us, given what we've been through, we've mastered how to sparkle. We've mastered how to get up in the morning and put on the headband, and especially if we've set disciplines for ourselves. Most of us on this Zoom tonight, Pam, Yvonne, Terry, all you guys, we've come to a place in certain areas of our lives, we've mastered how to sparkle. But I want to share something with someone who they're listening to us tonight. They go to church every Sunday. They are involved in all of these different women's groups. They're still going to the gym, all of these things, but they're still feeling like it's not happening for them. What can we say to those ladies? Where do they start? How do they, what can you say to them that will give them some encouragement to find their sparkle tomorrow?
I posted something and I'm trying to find it about patience, because we think we're sometimes in a hurry to want things like right now. Even when we're feeling low, it's like, well, I really wish I could feel better. And this may or may not be applicable, but I posted, it says, do not mistake God's patience for his permission. The Lord is not slow to keep his promise. He is patient. You better be patient too and wait on the Lord. Your best days are ahead. So every day or certain days you may feel low or you may not feel your best. But I always think of it, you know, your best day is literally tomorrow or just right around the corner. And if you have those supporters, those people in your corner, I think every woman should have, you know, 2, 3 good girlfriends that, you know, you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, you know, I need some motivation or I need a pick me up or today. What do you have for me? And if you don't, go out and find you one.
Yes.
May not come overnight, but go find you one, seriously, because those are your champions. Those are the ones that are going to celebrate you when you're high, and those are the ones that are going to be there when you're low. But you know, again, your best days are just right ahead, and it very well could be tomorrow.
How do you recognize your sparkle? How do you recognize the sparkle? How do you recognize, like, you know, how do you recognize it? Like, how do you recognize, oh, I found my sparkle. This is
It's
it.
the energy. I totally believe it's an energy. When you walk into the room, people feel it. It comes
Mhm.
off of you. I mean, really, it's something like today. I will just say, for example, I went into a restaurant. I was with a client, and the hostess just came and sat down. And all of a sudden, she's just like, ma'am, you just have this joy about you. I mean, and all I did was walk in and I smiled and I was friendly. And in today's world, sometimes that, I guess that's all that you need, that people need to feel it, and it has to be genuine, you know? I mean, they can tell whether or not you're fake, and if it's something that's coming from the heart. But I truly believe the energy that you have around you, when you are genuinely happy and you have that joy, everyone around you can see it and they can feel it. And I do want to get back to what you were saying earlier about, you know, when you're not, no matter what, you can't find the sparkle. In the Bible, the second most important commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. And I think to myself, if I'm not feeling, you know, 100%, let me go do something for somebody else, because that's what makes me feel better. When you help other people and you stop focusing on what you don't have and you focus on trying to help someone else, I'm telling you, you will feel better, because you're doing God's work. You're doing what you were called to do, which is to be there for other people. We're not here in this world just to be here for ourselves. We are all here to be a blessing to someone else.
I really like that, Yvonne. I definitely agree with that. And right now we've talked about finding the sparkle, or when others see the sparkle, or showing our sparkle to others. But I do want to just take a moment to talk about how to find your sparkle when it's just you. Because again, when I woke up this morning, I was in the house, it was just me. And so it's important to it was 2 things that actually both ladies said. And the first thing is to have patience with yourself, right? Give yourself the permission, give yourself the permission to acknowledge what you're feeling, and to understand that. And then the other thing is to change the focus. And so, yeah, I'm not feeling great, but I'm getting ready to do a bunch of other things that I can feel great about. So setting goals, and actually, you know what I do sometimes when I'm not feeling that great? I set goals for things I know I can complete, because you can find your sparkle and confidence, and you find confidence a lot of times in completing tasks and reaching goals. And so what I will say about that is set goals that you know you can accomplish. Set out to do things you know you will get done, and as you tick them, as you start to check those things off, you start believing in yourself, and that confidence comes back, and before you know it, the sparkle's back. And so that I would say that about that.
I love that.
That's
That's
awesome.
really good.
Yeah, you know, and I this is crazy too. I was thinking about something. My sister Terry, I just want to share this real quick. When I was a lot younger, maybe 20 years ago, actually, a little more than 20 years ago, I didn't laugh a lot. If anybody knows me today, I laugh so hard today. I laugh. I enjoy life. I laugh. I can laugh. But because of everything I had been through, I just didn't laugh a lot. I didn't like cartoons when I was a young girl because I came through molestation. So cartoons, I mean, who was watching cartoons? Who cared about cartoons? You know, and as I got older, I had all these different things that transpired in my life. And I just was serious all the time, just serious all the time. My sister, Terry, she said, you need to watch a sitcom. I was like, a sitcom? And she told me about, she may not even remember this, but she told me about some sitcoms. She said, you need to laugh. You need to watch sitcom. And I said, well, I don't watch sitcoms. She said, but you don't watch sitcoms. I said, no. She said, why not? There's some funny ones, you know. Anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, one night I was in the house and I was feeling like, ugh, like life is going nowhere fast. And I was like, I'm gonna watch a sitcom. And I turned on the sitcom. And I have to tell you, I have been laughing ever since, because that night something happened in me and I just started like I found laughter again. So I know we're talking about sparkle, but sometimes you can't find your sparkle because you feel so oppressed and so many things are holding you down. And you just gotta, that's why I like that unleash the sparkle of survival, because sometimes you get to a point where you say, you know, you could be going to work every day and you're laughing and talking to people and they don't know that you're suffering on the inside. And so I like the idea of when you get home, trying to find that thing in your private space so that it will start to it'll work on the inside and it'll begin to exude on the outside. And I watched a sitcom and now I can watch, at one time I would not watch comedians on television. Now I can watch a comedian all by myself. I think the people sometimes think in my house that I'm crazy because I'm laughing so loud. They probably said, there's a crazy lady down there on the second floor. I don't know, but this was good for me. I think this was great. And I believe that we have really tapped into some things this evening that sometimes we ran into some difficulties earlier. And sometimes it's because, you have to know that whenever you run into difficulties, my father is no longer with us, but he used to say, when you see what the enemy's trying to do, go a little further and see what he's trying to stop. Because you already know that when there's something good ahead, something is going to try and stop it. And Yvonne and Pam, Nira, and all of our callers that were listening or that were able to join us on this evening, whatever you said tonight, somebody is going to hear it and they're going to respond to life differently tomorrow. And you don't know that, but it's going to cause them to want to sparkle. Even and that's why I love that we were able to bring this together tonight, because, a lot of these young people today, when they get up, they don't put clothes on, a lot of times they just throw something on and go out, because that's the society has shifted a little bit. We were younger women, and Nara is much younger than most of us. When we were younger women, we had to dress a certain way to go into certain environments. And now it's almost acceptable, even like you see, even in church and different things, it's almost acceptable. You throw on a pair of jeans, throw on a t-shirt. People are not really working the sparkle. But I really think that on tonight, we might have helped to give somebody back the idea of sparkling. And so this was great. If you want to say something, I'm giving each one of you 1 minute to say something before we go.
I actually put something in the quotes. I'm in the chat, so I'll just say it out loud while you were speaking. I got the sparkle is in the triumph. And so a lot of times sparkle is a metaphor. It's just getting through. Sometimes that is your sparkle. There's this quote that I like to look at when I'm doing a bunch of things. And it says, I have survived 100% of my bad days. So the sparkle is in the triumph and knowing that this too shall pass, because I've gotten past so much. I'll get past this too, and I will continue to sparkle.
I love that. And I would say, sparkle is internal and external. You may not be feeling good inside, but you can show up and just be sparkling all over the place. So, create your own sparkle, whether it's listening to music, writing in your gratitude journal, or a daily affirmation. Do what works for you. that helps you feel like you're sparkling, you're shining bright like a diamond. And as Yvonne said, that attract people to you. So it whether internal, external, I would just say, do you shine? I would always say, just shine bright like a diamond. Just do you, girl.
I love that. I love
So
that.
I wouldn't be myself if I didn't go shine bright like a diamond. Okay, Yvonne.
Well, I would say before you even put your feet on the floor in the morning, be in a state where you're thanking God and being grateful for all the blessings, because first of all, you opened your eyes. And when you put your feet on the floor, make sure that the devil says, "Oh Lord, she's up." I don't know if y'all have seen that quote before, but before I ever get out of bed, I love just listening to devotionals and podcasts, because I want to set my day straight, my mind straight. I've been sleeping, but the minute that I get up, I want to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind, and I already feel good before I even begin my day. The second thing I would definitely say is, again, going back to doing things for others, because we all need each other. And if you can lend an extra hand to someone who may just need to talk, or somebody who maybe needs a dinner cooked, or a phone call to just cheer somebody up, again, it really does help make other people happy when you're doing things for them, and it should make you happy. And the third thing would be to fill your own cup daily. Find things that bring you joy and excitement, whether it's salsa dancing, or watching, comedy, or going to the movies, or laying in the sun in peace, or journaling, all of those things. Find something that within your soul, you just feel good, warm and fuzzy, because those are the things that's going to make you happy.
Yeah, that's hot. I love all of that. I think this was phenomenal. And so, I know we had a comment, but Pam, can you tell the ladies how they can find you?
Absolutely. They can find me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter under my name, or LinkedIn, Pamela Williams, or through my website. It's www.corpexintl.com.
Okay, and we didn't really, I just again want to emphasize that you're HR and business coach, and that's important that they may be interested. And then of course, Yvonne is and what city and state are you in? You're in Louisville, you said?
Yes, I'm dialing in from the great state of Louisville in Kentucky, the Derby city.
Yes, and Yvonne, you're where, Yvonne?
I'm in Texas. I'm just
You're
a little Southern girl.
And Yvonne's a realtor. And so tell them how to reach you, Yvonne, please.
Well, I am on Instagram as Sparkling Realtor. Of course, I'm on Facebook as Yvonne George. I no longer have my website. When I got into real estate, that started kind of taking over everything else. But I used to kind of do different functions called Live Your Sparkle, where I would gather women together and we'd do events and stuff. But my life's been so crazy with real estate, I haven't had as much time to concentrate on that. And I'm hoping to get back to doing that, because I love to inspire and help women. But that's how you get hold of me, for sure.
Well, ladies, I certainly appreciate. Nira had to leave us, and she put up there Brown, Goldstein, and Levy. That's where she is, Monday through Friday. But I tell you what, this has been phenomenal. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking time out of your evening, because a lot of times we're so busy during the day. The evening is that sacred time, and we really do appreciate you. Terry, as always, we appreciate you watching out for the chats for us. Terry is a phenomenal. Oh, she put a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And all of you guys, I just want to say, whatever you do, I usually say have a cup of coffee on me, but Be Fit was with us last night, so I've got my water and lemon. She really talked about drinking that water yesterday. Mm-hmm. But ladies, thank you so much. And whatever you do, have a cup of coffee on me. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. Everybody continue to shining bright like a diamond.
I love it. Thanks. Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.